Hey everybody, how's it going? So here with Colin Scott and Mr. Dave Friedman from Friedman Amplification, and what is your company called?
Friedman Amplification.
Okay, even though you build guitars too.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Yeah, the amps came first, so.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Now, Friedman Amplification and guitars. How's that?
Yeah, okay, that works. So anyway, Dave's based in LA, but he's originally a Detroit boy, and he's from my generation, so we kind of grew up seeing a lot of the same concerts, because I'm from Windsor, Ontario, right across the river, so we're just...
We can spit there.
Yeah, exactly. It's about a mile wide river. You never want to swim because the current's way too strong.
You might not want to get in the water either.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is these days, but...
Yeah, back in the 80s, it was pretty harsh.
You might come out without skin.
Exactly. Yeah, it was terrible. But we were just talking about a lot of the concerts we went to, and that was the thing for us. Anyway, it was we'd take the tunnel bus across and go to a concert, and then take it back. And we're talking, or seeing, you're talking about concerts at Joe Louis Arena, which is now defunct,
which is now being dismantled.
Yeah, exactly, because they've now got like Little Caesars Arena or whatever.
Correct. Which I did go to a concert at.
I haven't been there yet. How is it?
It's beautiful.
Okay, well that's cool.
Maybe a little too nice.
They're also taking the pallets down, which I find is hilarious because they just built the damn thing. You know what I mean? It's like,
I still think Joe Louis Arena is relatively new.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was built in 1979, I think, or when it opened, or the late 79.
And that was some pretty cutting edge stuff.
I mean,
back in the day.
Seems a waste.
I saw a lot of shows at Cobo Arena. Did you ever make it to one of Nugent's Whiplash Bashes?
No.
Okay.
No Nugent's ever.
Okay, I saw.
That's weird. I'm from Detroit, and I just never went to see Ted Nugent.
Yeah, that's weird. That was the thing. It's like, yeah, Ted. You say what you will about his politics, the guy is entertaining.
Yeah.
Especially back in the 70s and 80s. I mean, like, he was just, you can't grow up in that area without being influenced by Nugent one way or another. At least in my opinion. I remember, him hosting The Beat one night on Channel 56. That was something we grew up with, because I didn't have cable, so I got my music videos from Channel 56 in Detroit.
I do remember that.
On the beat, and I've got a bunch of old beta tapes just filled with that. And Doug Podell hosting.
Right.
Who's still an active DJ in the Detroit area. So, hey, Doug, if you're watching this, thanks for all the great memories, man. You roll. But now we'll talk a little bit about how you got into amps and that kind of thing. So yeah, where'd all that start? You moved to LA in '87.
Oh, okay. I'll try to do the abridged version because it's way too long if you go into too much detail. But
sure.
I'm pretty good at it now.
Yeah, just pretend we're not doing one of Henning's videos.
Got it. So leave a lot out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So moved to California in 1987, 18 years old.
Okay.
Went to work instantly for Andy Brower's Studio Rentals.
Okay.
And at the time, he was a studio instrument rental and cartage company for studio guitar players.
Okay.
So that was like Steve Lukather and like Dan Huff and like Tim Pierce and all the great LA session guys at the time. You would take the gear, set it up at a session, tear it down. When there was lots of sessions and lots of music industry going on with lots of studios.
Right.
Which almost none of that exists anymore.
Right.
So also studio instrument rentals. So renting vintage gear to sessions.
Right. SIR is still in operation.
SIR is still in operation, but this was like the premium service, the premium gear. So anywhere from 63 Strats to, vintage Plexis to all sorts of modified Marshalls at the time, and every blackface Fender known, every tweed Fender known, every high watt known. So as you can imagine, I learned a lot about amps.
Oh yeah.
And I knew every single amp, and I could tell you what everyone sounds like.
No shit.
The real amps, the real deal.
Okay.
That's where everything started. So anyway, he had a guy that was making guitar systems for guitar players at the time, and he left the company. And I've been watching him and seeing what he was doing, because I was always that curious guy that could take everything apart, put it back together again, And so I'm like, hey, I can do his job. Let me try. That started my career in making guitar rigs for guitar players.
Awesome.
So I did that. He also started a retail end of his company called Making Music with a guy from Chicago. There was a store called Making Music in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And so we did high-end retail. During the heyday of high-end retail, like Soldanos and Bogners and Tom Anderson and Jim Tyler and all these high-end retail guitars. So I get a big basis in high-end retail also.
Okay.
This snowballs over time. I go in partners with Bruce Egnater on the first Egnater amps.
Oh, really?
So Bruce, the first Egnater preamps in the early 90s, IE4 and the Egnater heads. at the time, I was partners with Bruce on. And that's where he basically taught me most stuff I know about amps today.
Cool.
Mentor, so to speak.
Sure.
Snowballs over time, doing rigs for people, later start my own amp line. There's some other stuff in the middle, but that's the short of it.
Right on. So when did Friedman actually start building amps?
Friedman, under Friedman name?
Yeah.
Well, actually, the first name I was doing him under was Marsha.
Marsha?
Marsha. Until Marshall sent a nice cease and desist letter.
Yeah, okay.
Said Marsha's too close to Marshall. I don't know if I agree with that, but
hey,
we rebranded it under my name, which I never really intended to do, but we did. So this was all happening around 2009-ish.
Okay.
When the rebrand happened. 2008 sort of started, 2009-ish. Under my brand name. I had other amps with other companies before, Blankenship amps. I had a couple amp models with Blankenship. Variplex was the amp I did with Blankenship at the time, and I did a design for Buddha.
Okay.
All the Superdrive series was all my preamp design.
Right on.
So there was some stuff before that, but...
Cool. So you started right around, you were saying, what, 2009-ish,
let's say?
Okay, fair enough. And what we got right now, we got like the
new
Friedman JJ.
Yeah, Double J Junior Jerry Cantrell miniature signature amp.
Okay.
We have a larger version of this, but this is the little 20-watt size down version of it.
What's the retail on that these days?
It's $14.99.
Wow, that's definitely not cheap. What's the power tubes in it?
You say that, it's also one of the cheapest amps we have.
Oh, no! Wow. So what's the
USA made amp?
Oh, okay, there you go. What's the power tubes in it?
EL84s.
Oh,
20 watts.
All right, cool.
All our 20-watt amps are EL84s. All our 20-watt amps range in price from $12.99 to $14.99.
Okay, cool. That does the trick. Yeah, that
does the job.
That's not too bad. Yeah, very, very. So you're definitely going. You're definitely kind of going in the Marshall-y kind of vein of things.
Yeah, the whole line.
So tell us about these two big guys up here.
The top amp is the SS100, which is a Steve Stevens signature amp.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh,
and,
that's cool.
We've
we've had that for a while. It's one of our first. It was our first signature amp we did.
Okay.
And I've been working with Steve forever on his rigs and different things. Yeah. Awesome guy.
Oh yeah, amazing player.
Amazing player. Underrated.
Yeah.
Way better than than most people even understand.
I still remember when Atomic Playboys came out.
Yes.
He said that was a very, very expensive hobby.
Yes, not the greatest representation, but at his playing, yes, but not the greatest representation of a band for him, I don't think. But.
Yeah, sure, fair enough. And like he did all his really groundbreaking stuff with Billy Idol.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still got a couple of them. Which is...
And then he did that Vince Neil album, which was killer. Yeah, which was really good.
Okay, cool.
Right on.
Anyway, so Steve Stevens model. What's the big?
The bottom is the B100 amp. The B100 amp is now the B100 Deluxe, which we don't have in the room here.
Okay.
So that's been discontinued, the bottom one, but that's the old version of it.
Okay.
And the new one has more features.
Okay. And that thing just sounds absolutely amazing. That's number 2 on here. Let's just pop that on for a sec and crank up. Yeah,
no idea how any of it's set in the background front, but
fuck it. Sounds good. That's just creepy as fuck. That's just really nice. That's pretty freaking cool. So how many amps are you building out of your shop these days? Say per month, would you say? Asking the tough questions.
Asking the tough questions. Oh, a few hundred.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay, cool. So you're definitely ramped up.
Plus cabinets, plus a bunch of other things. Okay, so, we have guitars, we have accessories, like we have reference monitors for modelers that we do. So stage monitors for modeling amps and stuff.
Okay, cool.
4 different ones of those, 12s and 10s and different sizes. And then, we have pedal boards, power supplies, pedal board interface box. We have all sorts of pickups.
Cool.
Pedals, amps, cabinets, guitars.
Okay.
Lots of stuff.
Now, if somebody wants to get something of yours, where should they be looking?
First, you can go to our website, friedmanamplification.com.
Okay.
Has a list of dealers on that.
Okay.
On our website, we do sell accessories.
Okay.
So pickups, pedals, mostly. Pickups and pedals.
Are you guys in Toman?
We are in Toman.
Okay, excellent.
U.S., Sweetwater. We're tons of dealers in the U.S.
Okay, fantastic, great. All right, Dave. Well, thanks very much for being on the show.
No problem.
Real big pleasure. Get to been wanting to have you on the show for quite a while, so it's super cool, and super cool that he's originally from Detroit. So that's awesome. So not just Kid Rock came from Detroit; somebody cool did.
And we should also thank Mayonis for these nice guitars.
Yeah. Yes.
And for this.
Yes.
Mayonis brought beer to this event.
Mayonis brought the beer. Okay.
And it is very good.
All right. Cool. All right. Thanks again, Dave.
All right, thank you.
All right. Until next time, Hasadiki boy.
Bye bye.